Welcome to the PMX Conversations, where we explore precious metals, global markets, and the decisions that shape long-term wealth preservation. I'm Toronto Mike, and this podcast is brought to you by Canadian PMX. We're joined by Jason Lumley, Storage Services Manager with Canadian PMX. In this episode, we'll be discussing the PMX storage program. Hello, Jason, and welcome to the PMX Conversations.
Hey, Mike, how's it going?
It's going well. Right off the top, can you tell me about the PMX storage program? Like, what is it?
So what it is that we have clients that come in that want to store their precious metals, gold, silver, platinum, right? And we'll store it for them for a small minimal fee.
And I understand it's been growing rather dramatically lately. Why is that happening?
It's just with the market, the way the market is. People just want to diversify and put it in their precious metals. So they want to preserve their wealth.
So what are the benefits of using professional vaults? Like, especially I'm thinking non-bank insured vaults. What are the benefits?
See, a lot of customers out there don't trust the banks, right? So that's the reason why we can offer this service, because we're not part of the financial institution onset, right? So we can take care of it out of the financial system.
Okay, so people don't trust banks.
That's correct.
And do you provide full insurance coverage?
100%. Full insurance across the board. Our insurance provider is Lloyd's of London, which is well known for providing insurance for all major banks with their precious metals divisions.
And, you know, we can talk about not trusting banks, but also not trusting, you know, your family and neighbors because you put it under your bed or buried it in your garden or something.
Oh, I've heard stories.
Okay, so what is the most interesting story you've heard of where somebody was storing their precious metals?
Basically buried in their backyard is what I've heard. You know, it's not something that I would recommend because... So if, God forbid, something happens, knock on wood, you know,
right.
People won't know where to find it, and then it's gone.
And you've got one of those maps with the you know, go to the oak tree and go 10
exactly.
paces.
And I don't think a lot of people don't tell their family members as well that they don't have this stuff, or they have this stuff, and they don't let people know.
Well, you'd have to have supreme trust in somebody to tell them where you buried your gold.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right. So it's about, would you say it's about risk management?
Yes, most definitely. Yeah. Yeah. Because we will take care of everything for you. We store it. We have multiple locations across country that we could use to pick up if you wanted to pick it up from a different location. It doesn't have to be here in Richmond Hill. So yeah, we can do it a lot.
And I can have visitation? Want to hold my gold?
No. We can give it to you. We can show, you can come into the store and show it and see it, but it's not, it goes into that whole allocated and non-allocated situation. No,
very, very, very interesting. And liquidity matters more than people think, right?
Most definitely. Yeah. Like we are just a phone call or an email away where you could sell your stuff to us. And I get back to you ASAP. Me or somebody will get back to you because we know time is the essence, because people are looking at the market and they see the price just right. So they want to sell it right away. So I usually lock them in at a certain price so that we can liquidate it as fast as possible for them.
Yeah. Because people, they focus on buying the gold, but they forget about selling it.
That's correct. That's correct. And storing it.
And that's where you come in there.
Yeah.
And if your gold is stored with Canadian PMX, how simple is it to sell?
Very, very, very easy to sell. Like I said, you can just phone call away, an email away, and I'll take a look at it and book it in. I'll email you back with a price. If you like it, then I'll lock it in and put it into our system.
So it's key to consider your exit strategy before you buy.
For sure. Most definitely. How fast it's going to be.
It shouldn't be an afterthought. It's
no.
Oh, yeah.
No. And we have different payment methods as well. If you wanted to come into the store and, you know, get cash, you can do that. If you wanted to wire transfer, we can do that as well. There's multiple options. We can do a check and mail it to you.
All right, Jason. So you're the subject matter expert. You've earned my trust here. I have some hard-hitting questions I'm hoping you can answer. You ready?
I'll try my best.
Okay. Can the government confiscate my gold?
No. No, we are a private company, and they can't come in and confiscate it. They can't. It's not, if it's a financial institution, yes, they could, because, they report to the government. We don't do that. We're a private company.
Okay. Is silver better to store at home than gold?
Neither are better to store at home. Silver is more bulkier in terms of gold. So I would always suggest either or, all of them, any of the precious metals you can store with us.
Right, because silver takes up
A lot
way more
room.
space.
That's correct.
Right,
That's
and
correct.
these storage logistics, these matter.
That's right.
All right, and you've mentioned fully insured, right?
Fully insured by Lloyd's of London, and
Lloyd's of London.
Yeah, they're well known. They do all precious metals, vaults, everything across the board.
And if somebody's considering a vault company, how important is it that they verify these insurance details?
Most definitely. You verify it, you call us, you let us know. We can tell you, we're telling you that is, but when it comes to other vaults, I can't speak on their behalf because I don't know what they would be able to provide.
I have a question about diversifying your storage locations. So this would be like the guy who I'm going to bury it in my backyard, but it's going to be in 7 different spots. Okay. Mm-hmm. So if you have, large holdings, and many investors do, how important is it, or do you recommend diversifying your storage locations so they're at different facilities, maybe even different jurisdictions? What do you say about that?
Yeah, most definitely. We partner up with another company, and we were able to store it across the country. We're looking to expand overseas. We're starting to expand into the U.S. Right, so we'll have different locations and be able to help facilitate that and store it at different locations, and if you need to take delivery of it.
Now, you're the storage services manager with Canadian PMX. Mm-hmm. So how long have you been in this industry?
I've been in precious metals for about 20, 25 years now.
Wow. Okay. And were you always in this industry, or did you come from a different industry 25 years ago?
Yeah. So believe it or not, I started with Scotiabank. And my mom worked for Scotiabank, so she got me into the Scotiabank. And I was working with payment confirmations and checks and all this kind of stuff for 5 years. And then it switched over to a position that came up to be a vault manager for Scotiabank. And I jumped at it, and I took the position and got the position, and I ran with it until they closed the vault down.
Until they closed it down.
Yeah, they got out of the Scotiabank, decided to get out of the precious metals business, right? So, unfortunately, I could have stayed with Scotiabank, but my passion is precious metals, and that's what I like to do.
Now, I'm listening to you in the headphones here as we're chatting on this podcast, and you've got great pipes. Have you ever worked in radio?
Yes, I did my co-op placement with 680 and CHFI when I was younger, out of high school. But unfortunately, with radio, as you probably know, there's no money in it unless you're in a big market. And unfortunately, it's just the way things went. I enjoyed my time with working the radio. It was so much fun, but again, going something more stable.
Well, it's funny. There's an alternate universe out there where you pursue a radio career.
Sure.
You see, I saw your eyes. You're like, oh yeah. It's funny. And you mentioned, if you're in a big market, there might be some money in it. I feel like those days have passed as well.
True enough. I'm speaking on experience too, because my stepfather was in radio, and we did a lot of traveling around.
This is the theme song from WKRP in Cincinnati.
That's right. That was our favorite show together too. We used to love watching that show. But we were in Edmonton, we were in Hamilton. So wow. I've been around with him because of him. Unfortunately, he's passed now. But yeah.
And was he a morning show host? Or?
Yes, he was.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do I get a name here? I'm just curious.
Yeah, he went by Bob Wallace or Robert Wallace.
Okay.
Yeah.
So people might remember the name Bob Wallace from the radio. But that's your stepfather, right?
Yes,
so you didn't inherit the pipes from him.
No, I did not.
This is from mimicry.
Yeah, I guess it's just my height and stuff like that.
Okay, so if this doesn't work out for you, and it sounds like it's working out well, maybe if not radio, podcasting is in your future.
I could come knock on your door and help you out.
Okay. And one last, the subject of the matter here. One last question. Just remind me, what is allocated storage again?
So allocated is basically, it's almost like think about a segregated storage where it's like your own pile with your own name on it with your own serial numbers.
Right.
That's what allocated is. Unallocated is just basically, here's a pile. You might not get that same bar number back.
Right.
But the ounces for ounces you'll get.
Okay, so if the allocated storage, like there might be, like we talked earlier about, visitation with your bar or whatever, like that specific bar or that coin, like, no, that specific serial number is yours.
That's for allocated, yes.
For allocated.
Yeah, and you know what? Speaking of like with our storage program and the way it's expanding, you just never know in the future that we might be able to offer that. And that's what we hope to offer that in the future.
So it sounds to me, Jason, like storage is a part of the investment strategy. And as we said earlier, it's not an afterthought.
No,
and there's
definitely not.
There's no one size fits all solution.
No, not at all. People are getting away from their paper money and going to actual physical assets, so it's just the same like the housing market. People would always invest in that, but precious metals always is an afterthought. And not a lot of people actually out there know that, right? So it's better to diversify and be able to do the precious metals because it's easy to liquidate as well.
Well, this conversation was easy for me. I
you.
learned a lot. Like
Thank
I
you.
said, great pipes.
Thanks.
In like I said, an alternate universe, you're hosting Metro Morning on CBC Radio 1.
Could be.
Could be.
Just never know.
So thank you for joining us and sharing your insights today, Jason.
Thank you for having me.
We appreciate your expertise and your perspective.
Thank you, sir.
To learn more about Canadian... Did you call me sir?
Yes.
I'm shutting it down. To learn more about Canadian PMX, visit CanadianPMX.com. And you can follow Canadian PMX on social media for market updates and announcements and future episode releases. I'm Toronto Mike, and I'll see you in the next episode of the PMX Conversations. Thanks for listening.